Hello folks, welcome to Paddock Pass, the post-Brazilian Grand Prix edition 2016. As you can tell from the fact I'm soaked to my skin and possibly suffering from the early stages of hypothermia. A very long race, a very interesting race, ultimately won by pole sitter Lewis Hamilton, with Nico Rosberg second and Max Verstappen third. It wasn't quite that simple though. A number of red flags, a number of crashes. Started right before the race had even begun, of course, with Romain Grosjean putting it into the wall on his way to the grid. The heavens opened all the way through the day. Race control deciding on a number of occasions that it was better to sit it out and wait for the conditions to try and improve before getting the race going. But Lewis Hamilton controlled the field from the front all the way through, never really looked to be troubled. His teammate, though, Nico Rosberg, definitely playing the conservative game for the whole day, allowing Hamilton just to get away a little bit on safety car restarts to give himself a little bit of sighting room with all the spray coming off in those wet conditions, but also, of course, not putting himself into a position where he could potentially take himself out of the race and then give that championship lead back to Lewis Hamilton. He did come under big pressure, though, from Max Verstappen in the Red Bull, who overtook him at one point, but Red Bull then took a very interesting decision to put both of their drivers onto intermediate tyres, which were at the time on a similar pace level to the full wets. Ultimately, it didn't work out, and the intermediates didn't have the longevity in them. Verstappen had to come in and stop again for another set of full wets, and that allowed us to see a mesmeric drive as the Dutchman flew from the back end of the grid all the way back into a podium position. It was a wonderful podium, with that man on the podium as well. Celebrating for Mercedes. That's Bradley Lord. He gives us all our information for the media. Absolute top bloke. And was still sending the media the information that we needed just before and just after he was on the podium. Pretty much delighted, I think, that Daniel Ricciardo wasn't on there, because I don't think he would have liked to have a shoey. Anyway, top three. Lewis Hamilton won the race, becoming now the second-time all-time winner in Formula One history, just behind Michael Schumacher, of course, Nico Rosberg second, Max Verstappen third. Lewis, what a drive in incredibly difficult conditions. How does it feel to take the win finally here in Brazil?
God, it's been a long time coming, but well worth the wait. Definitely. This has been my dream to win here since I was like 6, since I started watching Formula One. I saw Ayrton win here, and I was like, one day I want to be in that position. I want to do that. And it rained, the heavens opened, which is a blessing for me. And we won. Great qualifying, and the race was even better. So I'm over the moon, honestly. But I feel very, very relaxed. I'm on a really nice high right now.
It's 25 years since Ayrton won here for the first time. In winning this race, you're now second in the all-time list for Grand Prix victories. You've now won on more Grand Prix circuits than Michael Schumacher. This is a huge day in the career of Lewis Hamilton.
It really is, and unfortunately, the sheer scale of it is hard to imagine right now, and to really realize it feels very surreal. It's crazy when you go out watching the Grand Prix at home on your couch eating bacon sandwiches, and then one day you're there, have more wins than Alain Prost and Ayrton Senna, and it doesn't seem real, But what I am really, really grateful for is the great team effort that I have, the amazing team I have around me. Huge blessings from above to enable me to be able to drive like I do. Like today, no one gave me any problems, and no one could get close if they tried. So it's an amazing feeling. I wish you could feel what I feel when I'm driving those laps, because I get to put the car in places that I guess other people don't, and the control I have. It's at some stage my career will come to an end, and I won't ever get to feel this feeling. So I really, really do cherish this moment.
Nico, another great drive today, as was saying to Lewis earlier, in very, very difficult conditions. How tough was it out there? How happy are you to have brought it home second?
I'm okay. I can live with second place for sure today, because it was very difficult conditions out there, and Lewis did a better job, so that's okay. And glad that we managed to get the Red Bull or Max, who did a good job as well. Glad we got him with a strategy.
On the restarts, when Lewis seemed to get a bit of a gap from you, was that intentional on your part, just to allow yourself a bit of space to actually see with all of that spray out there?
Yeah, it was intentional, because I need to try and minimize the risks a little bit out there, especially in those conditions. And it was just with the aquaplaning through there, and with the spray, you just don't see anything. So that just helped me a little bit with the visibility.
It all comes down to Abu Dhabi now. Are you finally going to admit that you're thinking about the championship, or is it still one race at a time, race victory to go for?
not sure what kind of approach I'm going to take for Abu Dhabi. I'll let you know soon.
Really?
I haven't thought about that yet.
Do you feel it though? Do you feel that you stand on the verge of something that is so huge, it's so critical for you, for your career, for everything you've worked towards for your whole life?
At the moment, no. At the moment, I'm feeling that I'm glad to come home second in today's race.
Max, what a drive. I don't think I need to tell you you've been voted again the driver of the day. I don't think there could have been any...
I think this time it was fair. Like, I think in America it was a bit funny.
Yeah, I think definitely fair. Talk us through your race. Talk us through those closing laps as well. And in particular, how you are able seemingly to find grip on a racing track that no other racing driver can.
It was very exciting. Of course, I skipped a bit after the 2 red flags. We finally started racing properly, and I overtook Nico on the outside, so very happy with that. Of course, I was challenging Lewis, then had a massive moment in turn 14, I think it was. So very lucky, of course, to keep it out of the guardrail. And then from there on, actually, the pace was good again. But I was speaking to the team. I said, well, I'm losing a little bit my rear tires. And then Daniel pitted on for intermediates. He had good pace on that for 1 lap, so I pitted as well for it. And for 1 lap, it was feeling great. I was immediately faster, but then it started to rain more, unfortunately. And then we had no grip anymore in the last sector, so it made it very hard. So then I had a long discussion to pit for wet tires. In the end, we had to, because there was no way we could continue with the intermediates. And then it was a great race, a lot of fun, a lot of overtakes, a lot around the outside, because mainly, you can't stay behind them because of the spray. So you tried to find another line, and it seemed to work.
I mean, we were questioning coming in for the intermediates on air, and at the end when you had to pit for the wets again, we thought, oh no, it's all gone. But if that hadn't have happened, we wouldn't have seen you pull off that incredible race. What does it feel like in the car when you are able to pull off those kind of moves, when you're able to race and drive like that?
It feels great, of course. I mean, at the end, when I crossed the line as well, it felt like a victory. It was almost as beautiful as the race I had in Barcelona.
And the crowd here have taken you to their hearts. Already in Brazil, you're being called the next Senna. They adore you here. They absolutely loved you today.
Well, that's very nice to see, and of course very nice to hear, because the funny thing was with my engineer, all the time when he came on the radio and he said, like, good job, Max, go on, keep on going, I could hear the crowd going crazy, so that was also very funny.